Greetings, fellow Slain agents in the wild, and welcome back to the show. Just to give everyone an update, it's great to have the hard slingers of yore back in the digital rage room as we begin recording the interlude to our next season. Now, it's going to be like trying to land on the head of a pin to get all of our schedules to line up once again to begin recording that season. But with the post-season break, that probably won't be a problem. And believe me, that break is coming up sooner than we all thought. I can't believe how fast we've gone through this season. And yes, there are still a few episodes left in the can. Looking back, I do seem to remember when Sam had asked me if I had an estimate how many episodes Playthings might be. I told him maybe around 4 or 5, although I was kind of hoping for 5 to 6. And yet here we are with still a few in the bank. So remember, don't rush to the finish line, but rather enjoy the journey. I know that with me, I'm the kind of guy that has to force myself not to look at the last few pages of a book. I'm impatient that way, whether I want to know if my suspicions are correct, or if I guessed the ending of the story, was I on the right path? But then I remind myself that these stories, written by a human hand, with all that chat GTP stuff going around, I've got to include that. These stories are meant to be experienced. We are meant to see them unfold, meant to acknowledge the connective tissues that make episode 2 relative to episode 5, make season 15 collateral damage relative to season 21 borrowed souvenirs. There's a journey that the author wants us to experience. The same journey he experienced when those thoughts migrated from the brain to the page. I know when I'm writing these homebrews and I see they start coming together, I pause and I reflect on what's been written. Then I smile and I ask myself, will the players and will the listeners get this? Then I remember who's playing and I remember who's listening, and I keep on writing because all of you are that smart. I got a great audience full of real thinkers. The digital rage room is populated with intelligent individuals. And I'm very proud to have you all on this journey with us. All right, enough with the heavy-handed. Let's warm up our dice and top off our glasses. Roll the Hard 20 presents episode 9 of our homebrewed scenario, Playthings. Enjoy. We're just kind of going over like what you guys have discovered so far, and Chris was saying that it was very. How'd you describe it initially, Chris?
It took us a little while to get our legs under us to figure out what the fuck was going on. Pardon my French, listeners.
But what I was saying is that because now that you're past the front half of this scenario, I could kind of break this down a little bit and say you guys were on the right path. But what I think happened was there was too many voices trying to decide what you guys wanted to do.
Well, yeah, when you brought frickin' Johann Richter in, that didn't
apply there. That guy.
He's designed for a different reason, though. He's designed to make it so the agents actually start cleaning up after themselves a little bit more often.
I know, but
more messy.
But we have to manage that. That's my point with him is that, yes, we're like focused on the mission, but the guy keeps popping up like a whack-a-mole. Like we keep having to
up twice. Once he went to your hotel to see what was going on, and he stood there in a towel with his shoulder rig on.
Oh my God!
Wanting to know what was up, what is good to eat in this town. Is there anything brought best? And then he called you again after he hadn't heard from you guys because you guys basically took off in the morning. But what I was saying was when the investigation first opens up, you know, you're supposed to go to the first house of the crime scene. You meet Detective Norris. You find out that Grady's back at the precinct, and you guys go through that house looking at stuff. And I got to give a gold doubloon out to Adesso because you had it on point to look at the refrigerator door.
Hey,
and it's in the AP to look at that. So I want to give this out to you right now.
Hey,
I don't want to do it on the back end.
Doubloon.
And that kind of gives you an idea that there's some stuff that's going on. There's a fuzzy picture and whatnot. And then outside of the house, you meet Father Richter. He kind of questions you about what's going on with your latest investigations and how they're not as tight as they should be. You're not keeping things clean. You're trying to find assets out in the field that may or may not be a benefit to the agency. Then you take him back to the precinct. You find out Grady's been removed by CID. You meet Inspector Lang and Agent I should have chosen
you should have.
Octavo. I should have chosen a different name for this broad.
It should just be like Ortiz or Ortega, but you like...
Yeah, I wanted to get a little... I don't even know. I saw the name somewhere on something. I'm like, ooh, that's a great name. 8. Yeah, anyways.
And I'm Ichi.
But you had a really good idea in that once you guys got into the conference room and you saw all the stuff on the bulletin board, you split the agents and took her outside. That was pretty impressive too, because then you kind of get the feel that there's two people that are looking and doing stuff.
Well, she seemed like she was a little bit more sympathetic to the cause too. There you go, brother.
Yeah.
But then after that, that's when the investigation opened up into doing whatever you wanted in any particular order. And as I was saying earlier, before you jumped on, Sam, you guys could have gone to the medical examiners. You could have gone to any of the other previous crime scenes, which you guys did. And then Chris remained behind to try to investigate these pictures and stuff and figure out what was going on, run a background check on that, on those kinds of things. But when you went to the previous residence, that's when each found the answering machine and stuff and found the receipt on that refrigerator. That was also because, you're starting to see a thematic pattern here that people hang stuff on the refrigerators. I do all the time. And then when you saw the receipt for History's Emporium and then you played the answering machine, then you go to Roberta Glacier and talk to her about this doll. Find out what's going on. Now, you guys have made some leaps of faith. I think, Adesso, you even went to Iberia Medical Campus to try to see the daughter, the sole survivor, knowing that the two previous ones have already offed themselves. And those are things that you gleaned not just from Inspector Lang, but also from Nurse Rader and from the medical examiner who examined the body. So all these things kind of loop into each other. So whichever way you look at them, they'll lead you in the same direction, however way you investigate them. But as we get closer to the back end of this thing, that's where choices are. You might lock yourself out of certain things, or just by choice. You may not see something, but doesn't break the AP. You guys are already on the roller coaster. Certain things may not become available or relevant in the investigation of the case.
Here's a question for you. Is the AP progress? Because we're 5 episodes in now?
No, this is episode 9.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Is it already?
Yeah.
From your perspective, how many episodes do you see this running? And are we progressing too slowly, too quickly?
No, I wouldn't say. Well, there was one episode, and I think it's the one that I don't think I've edited it yet. There's a few that I haven't. Like I've done 1, 2, I've done 6, and I've done 8. I haven't done 4 or 5. I'm halfway through 3, but I had to edit the last ones before we jump back on, so I know where you guys are at. But there was one that you guys were kind of like blanking around and like, well, do we go here? Should we go there? Be honest with you, you will never hear that. It's on the cutting room floor. It's gone. Like I made it rapid fire. And I was talking to Sam about that. Like when you guys start burning time in the hole and it's not real interesting, don't worry about that. All that shit's going away. All we need to do is make sure we wind up with a full length episode, which I think one of them was, I think it came in at like an hour and 9 minutes. It went out the door at like 47 minutes. Wow. I cut almost 20 minutes out of that thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess for me, as I just want to make sure, I'll just say this, I don't want to add or slow the AP down because his capabilities are different than what Adesso and Ichi's are, and they're kind of more of a technical nature. and I don't want to slow the AP down. And I know the APs don't typically have that technical component to it. And the listeners may not get it, or it may not add enough flavor. But I want to make sure I'm not slowing it down.
It doesn't slow it down.
And not adding flavor, relevant flavor, we'll call it.
Well, like I think at one point, and the listeners may not know, but you guys were trying to figure out how you're going to get into History's Emporium. That doesn't even exist anymore. That's all gone.
I get it.
You know, you got there, saw the place was locked up. Okay, where you want to go now?
Yeah, but I'm talking
gone.
like using
that
technology, like using technology to figure out comparisons between photographs and things like that. I want to make sure that's not slowing shit down.
No, that's not, because in the interim of you doing that, they were conducting their investigative nature as well. And so if there's a part that really wouldn't carry a lot of weight behind it, it doesn't get as much showtime either. So there's certain parts that, like if he's just going around these bedrooms and he's checking this, he's checking that, he's checking this, you know, some of that may get cut just because I just want him to check this, and then you move on to the next room. So, but
you know, rice on its own is rather plain, but with a little half Japanese spice, a little Italian spice, you have a nice meal now. All of us together.
I think, Sammy, you said it probably the best. Is his engagement is pretty plain in the scheme of
names like food.
Oh,
no,
totally non sequitur.
Slow pickup.
What's that?
All right, let's lead us in. Ready?
You.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20. It is I, your trusted liaison, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore.
Get you in the house.
Episode 9 of our homebrewed scenario, Playthings. So, the three of you had just left History's Emporium, where the owner, Roberta Glacier, informed you that Molly doll, the doll that's been in question this whole time, had been sold by the store 2 times in the past 8 weeks. She had tried to contact the Claiborne family in hopes of getting them to return Molly doll. Perhaps she felt a sense of guilt having sold something she really didn't know much about. After all, she said she had procured the doll by way of winning a storage auction after the previous owner had defaulted on the rent. After having a brief conversation with Roberta, we find the three of you exiting the store and piling in your car. Odesso, your phone begins to ring and you answer it. And on the other end of the line, you hear, "Where are the three of you?"
Guy.
On the one hand, I'd like to hang up on him just because we don't answer to him. On the other hand, I'd like to be congenial and pleasant. Hold on a second. I'll call you right back. And I hang up the phone. And I tell the rest of them, it's the father. He wants to know where we are. How do we want to do this?
The phone begins to ring again.
Yeah.
Is he going to Uber over to us? Like, I mean, he does have a submachine gun, so that's going to help out at the end when we have to kill Maxine. Not the doll, but the kid.
The phone stops ringing.
Uh-oh. Call him back and then hang up.
Well, what do we want to do with this guy?
I don't know. Handler, what do you want us to do with him? He has to live? We'll let him live. Okay. No, I think he's checking in on us. So if he's...
The phone begins to ring again.
I'll just pick it up.
Who answers the phone?
Let Odesso do it.
Odesso?
Odesso.
Agent Odesso?
Yes.
This is Inspector Lang.
Excellent. How are you doing there, sir?
Good. I just wanted to see if the three of you are going to be available in the very near future. We think we may have a 20 on the Mercer brothers.
Oh, excellent. We can be free in another hour.
This may not wait that long, Agent.
Oh, tell me what you got.
Well, right now, it looks like they just popped up on some CCTV at a gas station that's local in New Iberia. Right now, we're currently trying to follow and backtrace where they're going towards. But I just need to know that you guys will be ready to support us if we give you a call.
Absolutely, we'd be ready to support you. Not a problem. Although we are indisposed for another hour, given the distance where we are.
Where are you at, agents?
Just outside of town, traveling towards it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Out.
He hangs up. I tell everyone else what happened. You guys catch all that? That was Agent Lang. He's got the two brothers that he believes are responsible for this particular set of events, and he wants to know if we can help him.
Maybe it extends some... Look, we know that these guys don't have anything to do with the murders, but maybe it will extend some additional goodwill and get us a little more cooperation and aid us a little further down the road.
I agree. Yeah.
I say we do it.
Okay.
Let's help him.
Now, min-maxing this is a perfect way for the handler to get the agents away from the real prize, which is Maxine. This is Sammy speaking, by the way. Would we want to split up at all and keep someone local to be there to stop this Chucky doll from killing her? Which we all think that's what's going to happen.
Well, I think I'd like to go to the hospital. In game time, what time is it in game? About 9:30
It's
in the
probably
morning?
about 9:30 in the morning right now.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And we still have to talk with, we got to find out what the Mrs. Majors lady with the doll. We got to, the Mercers were actually one thing I wanted to bring up, but now that we know about that. But there's, the path to the doll is the answer to this. I don't necessarily think it's the Mercer brothers. I think they're a way to distract us. Not in game, but I think that's a way to distract us and get us. I think we need to stay focused, and if we want to split up the group, one can go assist Agent Ling with the brothers, whatever. But someone needs to go. We need to go to that family, and we also need to be around the hospital to prevent what's going to happen.
How do we want to play it then?
And no one's we haven't checked the storage unit either, which who knows if that's a benefit.
I don't think so, because anything that we would have needed is gone. Just a feeling. Well, I think two of us should go to the hospital. One of us should go talk to the family that bought the doll. How do we want to play that?
So that again, you said one goes to the hospital, one goes to the doll, or so nobody.
Two to the hospital, one to the doll.
And nobody goes to support Ling, except when we call Father Johann, he can go do it.
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be good.
I don't know. I think if we don't, okay, and then also I think if we don't show support for the Ling guy, I think that's gonna screw us up even further. So, which path do we want to do? We got three. We have to do three things.
Well, we have three people. We should do three things. Okay. One of us do each one. So who wants to go to the hospital?
Well, what do you think then? Do we do the Major's residence, get information on the doll, and then we also go to Agent Ling and help him out? Because I don't think anything's going to happen to Maxine until we go to the Major's thing and find out what that bag is. Like if I was watching this as a story, that's what I would expect. I doubt we'll go there and find out she died.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Maxine's the urgent thing we need to do.
Okay, well, I think that we should all go to talk to the Major's family. Bring Father Johann in as a ruse of support. Then at least he can be following up on all of our misdeeds and tattletale about us. Then when we get the call, Adesso could go with Agent Lang to wherever they find these Mercer brothers. Hopefully that'll get him in the better graces too with our inspector friend. And meanwhile, that leaves it open for Rice, Father Johann, and I to go to either the hospital and help Maxine or go to the storage unit and see if there's something there that we need. I think that covers all bases. Am I missing anything, agents?
No, I think that works. Rice, how about you call Father Johann?
Okay.
And scan
hand him the phone.
While you're doing it. See
this is for you.
What do we want to do with him, though? We have, I can speak to him, but what do we want to convey?
Let's just get him to the hospital, and he can be our placeholder until we get there.
That would be good, too. He could watch through the little window.
So just have him go and just hold post?
Yeah.
That's it? Don't say anything. Don't do anything. Just, wait until we get there. But...
If he can get in to see her, that may help, because if nothing else, he can stick his hand in between the knife and her before she kills herself, or however she's going to do it.
The little bag that's in the back of the doll, that's probably the thing fucking making her animate.
Yeah, the reliquary inside the doll. We don't want to give him too much information, but I think it would be helpful if he was on site, and his presence as a holy man may get him better access than we ever had.
So,
I did.
Where are you guys going? Are you going to the Major family? Are you going to the hospital? I don't understand what you guys are doing.
Want me to do it all, sum it all up?
Yeah.
Okay. So each Adesso and Rice are going to go to the Major's family and talk to the mother about Molly Doll. We're going to call the father to come with us and be as a clerical support if the family needs it. That's the ruse. As soon as Adesso gets the call from Ling, he will go there while Rice, Father Johann, and Ichi will go to either the hospital or go to the storage place to check it out, and maybe even then split up so we can do both. But we want to find out what's going on with the doll from the Major family, why they'd sell it, it's talking to the kids, all that. But we also don't want to burn bridges with Ling because we're still going to need him before we ultimately have to kill him.
Got it.
Once Adesso has to finally kill him. He's the cop killer in our group.
Oh, Jesus.
Iced tea.
We got really dark.
All right. Rice, you going to make your call?
Yeah, just real quick. How transparent do we want to be with him, with information?
Tell him why he's going to be there. That we fear the girl's going to commit suicide, just like the other two did.
Coming with us, though, to the Major's place, right?
He is.
That we said we're going to all go together, and then if you get the call, you go.
Okay.
Just because he wants to keep an eye on us.
Got it. Okay.
If he goes to the hospital, I don't know what he's going to do other than stand outside the room. And I would bet Ichi's life that nothing's going to happen to her until we get through a couple of these things. Because there has to be like a frantic race to save the child. Of course, it is a R20 campaign. The child's probably dead, been sacrificed to the moon god Glumgar ages ago.
Make your call, Rice.
Okay. Hey, Adesso, give me that number that you have for Johann. I'm going to make a phone call.
No problem. It's the last number dial. Just hit redial.
Oh, okay. Thanks for your phone.
Oh, no, actually, that gets you to Lane. Here, I'll go through it, sign it up for him, send it, give it to him.
Okay. All right. So I hit the send button on his last received call from Johann Richter.
Hello, Agent. Where are the three of you? Why do you consistently hang up on me?
Oh, easy, Johann. This is Agent Rice. We could use your help.
I am listening.
All right. We have some concerns about the safety of one of the children, who's Maxine, who's still alive, and we cannot get to the hospital in time. Can we ask?
Safety as a child is not our concern. That's not our primary focus, though. Is it?
No, perhaps it is not, but it is still relevant to the investigation.
Our world is built on the bodies of those that are sacrificed for the greater good.
This is a child.
It's not your child. It's not my child.
Look, still a child.
I expect to be picked up. I'm to be taken with you wherever you go. Where are we all four going next? And come get me, please.
No, that's not going to work for us.
No, it works very well for me.
That doesn't matter to us in our investigation. So I'll text you the address of the hospital. We would really appreciate that you watch over young Maxine until we arrive.
Well, this is the way you want to play this game, huh? Well, let me tell you something, Potato.
Rice, potato.
You will never work in the field again.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
He hangs up on you.
Click.
Yeah. He got to me. He hung up on me first. Okay, so I tell Adesso, hey, Adesso, Ichi, Johann, I don't think he's in play. He is desperate for him to be with us at all times. I asked that he go see Maxine, but he's not having it. So I say we continue along our path, and what's going to happen is going to happen. He doesn't feel that Maxine, that her life is relevant. Sacrifice one for the many, basically, in his words.
So where are you rumbling to?
Still on our way to the Majors.
Okay.
Yeah. Stick to our plan.
It doesn't take long to get there, especially from History's Emporium. It's probably 6 or 7 minutes up the road. As you begin to make your way towards the Major's family residence, you see that the house is at the end of a cul-de-sac at 2015 La Belle Villa. Ironically, this is about 2.5 miles from the Trosco residence. You see that the exterior of the house is in a somewhat disarray. A lot of the grass is dead. The bushes that would be in front of the windows are kind of in dire shape. It looks as though the house may be in some form of neglect. Tell me what the three of you would like to do.
Get on out, look presentable, knock on the door.
You can see from your side of the door, a silhouette passes in front of the peephole, pulls back, and then you see the door open slowly. And you see a woman who looks like she's at the end of her rope. Dark rings around her eyes. Her light brown hair shows a corona of frizzles that have been pulled out of her bun. She's wearing a wrinkled shirt and old jeans, really not presenting herself in the best light. And she says through the cracked door, "May I help you?"
I'm Agent Odessa. This is Agent Rice and Agent Kimura. We're doing an investigation related to some murders, and we had a couple questions for you. Just simply in connection with a piece of evidence that has been traveling and connects these murders together. A particular doll. You familiar with what I'm saying?
Did you say doll?
Yes, a doll. A Molly doll, specifically.
And behind her, you hear two little girls. They're giggling and laughing. You hear them running around upstairs in the second story. Just boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Creepy.
She's all Molly doll.
Yes, ma'am.
She opens the door and admits the three of you in. And you see that the house is in disarray. There's an open pizza box on a table. The trash is overflowing. And there are several open boxes on the floor with articles that are haphazardly thrown in. The whole house, there's no pictures on the walls. There's nothing on the shelves. And she just looks at the three of you and says, "Please come in. I'm sorry for the mess. These things used to be so much easier. Hell, this wouldn't even be happening if that bastard hadn't run off with his new girlfriend, Lindsay. And I'm here handling our daughters. You are here, I take it, you want to hear about Molly doll?"
Correct.
Well, tell me, agents, what do you want to hear?
Oh, this doll has been present in several different murders, and what we want to know is if there's anything connecting everybody together. All three of the families. Your family was able to return the doll before anything happened. So I was just wondering, why did you return the doll?
Why did I return the doll? Because one of my daughters said that the doll had spoke to her. You know what? Hang on a second, agent. Girls, can you come down here, please? And you hear the yeah, mommy, hi. You see these two girls start coming down the staircase, and they look identical, 100%. And as they're coming down, she says, "You know, I had gone into History's Emporium to look for a lamp. I had taken both girls with me. Lacey had gone inside with me, and Macy stayed in the car. Macy had basically just gotten a necklace that day, and I wanted to do something sweet for Lacey, so I bought Lacey the doll as a way of helping her cope with her father and I splitting. Basically, he moved out the next day, leaving me and the girls in the house." At this point, the two girls come down and they each hold one of her hands. And she says, "So the girls and I were going to do activities that night. And Macy went to her sister's room to get something to draw with. When she came running out a few moments later, screaming her head off and crying, she said that doll, that Molly doll, had spoke to her. And my daughters don't lie to me. That's how I found out about the girlfriend. And you could ask Macy yourself." The little girl looks up at you and says, "When I entered Lacey's room, I heard someone ask me, 'Are you ready for tonight? It has to be tonight, before your father leaves in the morning.' At first I didn't know who spoke, Then I heard the voice again, and this time it asked me, "Did you get the knife?" The voice seemed to be coming from Lacey's bed, and when I looked over there, that was when I saw Molly Doll turn her head towards me and ask, "Lacey?" And that's when I ran to my mom. The mom looks at you and says, "I was up all night trying to calm these girls down, and in the morning I took the doll back to History's Emporium. By the time I returned, Leon had left us and hasn't been back since."
Did you happen to notice when you returned the doll or when you picked it up that there was a spot in the back that was open? Because in particular, in that spot in the back was open was a small bag. I'm wondering if you looked inside that bag or if you even saw it.
I know that the doll had a cavity in the back, and I only know that because when I grabbed it and threw it in a plastic bag and tied it up and threw it in the back of the car, that's all I know of it. I didn't pull anything out of the doll. I mean, it's a weird doll. I don't even know what Lacey was thinking of when she was compelled to want this doll, but if this doll is talking, and I don't believe my girls are given to flights of fancy, who knows? I mean, just to hold the doll felt weird. It was like when I used to give my grandma a hug, and I could feel like that weird skin on the back of her neck. That's what the whole doll felt like to hold this thing.
Yeah. Well, potentially this doll being so old, the way that a lot of things could be explained is maybe the doll had some sort of mold in it that caused the girls to think they heard things. So I wouldn't be too concerned about all that. It was probably just an old, creepy looking doll. But is there any other kind of information you could give us about her? I mean, otherwise, the doll talking to kids, we don't believe that kind of thing can happen in reality, do we?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, my daughters don't lie. However, I'm just kind of curious why your partner over here said that 3 families have all killed themselves and are associated with this very doll.
Well,
and
he's
now
just
my daughters
friend.
are telling me that this doll asked Macy, "Do you have the knife? Are you ready for tonight? We have to do this before he leaves in the morning." Were we on the chopping block as well? Was my family, my girls, me? Were we next or first?
Oh, that's our question. Did anybody ask what that meant? Have to do this? What was this?
I don't know. I didn't talk to the doll. All I know is that when the doll spoke to Macy, the only thing I could think is that because they're twins, the doll confused the 2 girls.
Okay, Odessa will, get down so that he's eye level with the girls and say, "I'm sorry, which one of you is Macy?"
One of them steps forward.
"Okay, Macy, help me out here. The doll talked to you, but it thought it was your sister, right?"
That's correct.
"Okay." And then I'll turn to the sister and I say, "Lacey, what did the doll say to you?"
Before Mommy took it back?
"Yes, before Mommy took it back."
Molly Doll had said that Daddy was a bad man and that he should be punished for that, and that Mommy would be the one to do it.
"Why is your daddy a bad man?"
I don't think my daddy is a bad man. I love my daddy.
Well, did Molly Doll say why your daddy was a bad man?
Molly Doll just said that. He just said that. Mommy! I think you're disturbing my daughters, Agent.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to get this out.
He said there was a darkness around my daddy and around my family, and this would bring out the light.
Did he say anything else?
He said to get the knife and be ready.
Did you see any darkness?
In my family? No, I love my family.
No, of course. Did Molly Doll explain what this darkness was?
No, I don't.
Did Molly Doll say how using a knife was going to help anything? Bring out the light?
Something about removing the darkness or cutting away the darkness or making room for light to grow, or I don't remember.
And how was Mommy going to do this?
By cutting out our darkness.
Do you know what that meant?
I don't. I'm 7 years old, for fuck's sake.
Second one.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. I appreciate it, Macy. You guys won't have to worry about the doll anymore.
They look at their mom, and she indicates that they can go back upstairs, and they take off running up. Well, agents, I hope you're satisfied. You've made my evening a little bit more harder.
You mean morning?
No, they got to
tough
go to
of a
bed
evening.
at some point tonight.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, I wonder why the guy left. What a peach.
Did you have any indication that your husband was being unfaithful to you?
No, I didn't. I think that at one point the girls had heard him say something, or it gave an indication about somebody named Lindsay, who ironically is one of my best friends. And come to find out, that's who he's now with. And he's been gone for almost 2 months. The mortgage hasn't been paid. We got to be out in 4 days.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Jen, you got any other questions?
Ma'am, I know this is difficult. I don't know if this is relevant or not, but Lindsay, that's a friend of yours? That this is the affair that your husband is having?
Yes.
What is her last name?
Archer.
All right. Do you happen to have a phone number or an address?
Well, I have a number. I have both of their numbers, but honestly, they're not even in the state anymore. They've moved.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Majors.
Well, agents, if that'll be all, I got to get back to packing.
Where are you headed to?
Right now, I'm going to go to my mother's house. I got to put all this shit in a storage unit.
Oh, that's good. In times of trouble, it's always good for daughters to be with their mothers.
Yes. Thank you, agent.
Maybe you should pack that bad attitude away too.
So she shows you to the door and softly closes it. You hear the deadbolt engage.
Each will put his hand closer to his jack blade, because I know when we turn around and go out to the car, Father so-and-so will be waiting for us.
Before we get to the car, well, when we get to the car, gents, do any of you remember if any of the other families had problems with fidelity?
I do not recall any fidelity issues. If I remember correctly, the other families, the husband, the mother and the father were murdered inside the home.
By
both
the mother,
together.
correct?
By the mother. So I don't. It's interesting. I think, Adesso, are you trying to say that infidelity was the motive?
Well, I'm not sure if it was a motive per se. What the doll seems to be saying to these girls is there's a darkness and it needs to be purified, and that for each particular murder it was used as a knife, right? There was no shotgun or pistol or anything else. They were all up close and personal with the knife. Okay, what brings out that kind of rage?
One was a shotgun, by the way.
Oh, one was a shotgun?
Well, all the families had issues too, right? Like, wasn't
Yeah.
there an issue going on with Lori in the Trasco family, and the one daughter was angry with her for, was it fooling around with some boy or something?
Yeah.
The Claiborne guy was an alcoholic. What was happening with the Hooper one?
Wasn't
There's
disclosed.
something going on. What?
It was never disclosed.
It's just that there was some sibling tension between two of the sisters on one of the families.
When she said Lindsay, I immediately thought it was the chick from the first family, Lori, but it was Lori. It was the daughter. And so I was like, oh, Lindsay. No, it's Lori.
Right. I'm just looking for a thread. If the doll is choosing people based upon a flaw, it can be exploited. Infidelity, whatever it unfaithfulness, whatever it happens to be here.
You know what we ought to do? Remember, and this would probably be Rice too, because I think you interacted with her before. Remember when we were driving into town, we heard the commercial for the Voodoo Mama Juju lady?
Yeah.
And the Molly doll sounds exactly like some kind of Rasta reggae thing. We should call her up too, just to see what
Madame Cleo.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But
Mama Fontenot.
Yeah,
Mama
that's right.
Fontenot.
Because Rice was, I believe you were talking with her, right? You and Coldwell were talking to her, weren't you? In that one where Darius was her son.
Yeah.
Took out.
Yeah. Because you guys went to this is for the listeners, for one of the previous seasons, Collateral Damage.
Oh, yeah.
Coldwell and Rice had gone back to the precinct and were talking with, I forget what the name of the detective, but she had called in basically saying that she had a good idea who this particular killer might be, and it sounded like it was her son, Darius.
So hey, Adesso, I think your line of questioning has revealed even more to us that there's clearly something sinister about this doll. We have got to get to this doll.
Right.
I think the only reason Maxine is still alive is that she is under constant supervision and the doll doesn't have access to speak with her.
Well, we can go. Here's my thought on it. Let's go to the hospital and let's just say we need the doll as evidence. Because it was present at 2 other homicides. So I think it sounds facially valid for us to ask for it. I think we can do it that way. Once we have the doll, then I think we save the girl.
How are we going to get the doll without getting Lang's approval? Because he's the one in charge of this, right? Do we supersede him?
Yeah. Well, no, I think what we'll do is, how about we go and I'll ask Lang if we can grab it from the girl, saying that we've explored this and we think that it's connected, and we think he should take a look at it. He should have his people review it and take a close look at it, because we've just found that there's a hollow space in this doll. Maybe it's got evidence because there's a bag in there. We don't know. We'd like him to take a look at it. We'll retrieve it for him while he's chasing the Mercer brothers.
Okay. Do we want to say anything like I was trying to say to the lady, like it's got some kind of toxic cosmology to it that we may want to get out of that room of the sick kid, or all that kind of shit too?
Oh, we could go there. I think it's enough just simply say it's evidence.
Okay.
That usually trumps everybody. It's like, we need the doll. Why? It's evidence. It's been connected to 2 murders previous to this one, and it's got a previously unknown cavity inside it that may have other evidence. We need it.
Should we?
I think Lang would sign off on that.
Do you think we should ask him in person? Like, do we go to where he is when he finds the people, and then as soon as we get the okay from him, we separate or something? Or
well, he's currently chasing down the Mercers. I think he's probably available by phone. We have a good reason to call him. We have a facially valid reason. Call him, hey, how's it going? You need us.
We could also give him the evidence that we found out, like where this doll came from and that all the families had it or something like that. Like,
yeah, we get him in the background on the doll. He's chasing the Mercers. We go to the hospital, get the doll with his permission, and we can take care of it then. Rice, what do you think?
You're saying go to Lang?
No, we'd call Lang.
Call him, okay.
Fill him in on what's going on. He's chasing down the Mercer brothers. We ask him for his permission to go to the hospital and grab the doll. On the grounds, yeah, it's evidence. It's been evidence that's been linked to now 2 murders at least, and maybe a third if she dies, but we can say it's definitely linked to 2. We tell him that there's a pocket inside the doll that may hold evidence, and we need it. I think he would sign off on that.
Or is Lang the one that is trying to shut this down and just like close the case quickly?
Yeah, he thinks the Mercer brothers are connected. If we throw out some new evidence that would help him sew it up and connect it to the Mercer brothers, I think we'll be okay. We could even dribble some things saying that the lady at all right, I'm going to screw the name up again.
Majors? Oh.
No, not Majors, the shopkeeper at the Emporium.
Oh, Glazer?
Yeah. We can tell him that they had stopped by and were interested in this doll. Well, that's a little
we
too
can
far.
just say that the doll has gone from these 3 families.
Yeah.
And we found out, and because he doesn't know about that probably.
Probably not. It's pertinent evidence in and of itself.
Let me ask you, though,
him
do you
info.
really think that he's going to make the connection that a doll is responsible if he's not in the loop of what you guys know?
You just beat me to it. I
think he's saying it's just evidence that could have something hidden in the doll from that.
Okay.
would be worth killing for, you know? It's got diamonds, I don't know.
I don't know that he's smart enough to make any connection that the doll would have any evidentiary value.
Well, it's a doll. All three families, though.
I know, but it's a doll. In his mind, it's a doll. We're the only ones that know that this is a Chucky doll. He doesn't.
Right. But the idea of if a specific book was in one family that got killed, it showed up at the second family that got killed, and it showed up at the third family, that all of them except one got killed. Maybe there's something written in the book that something is happening that these Mercer brothers are trying to get. There's the link. They're after this fucking doll because it has drug money or fucking diamonds in it or something. And
that's an interesting...
So let's check this out and see what they're looking for.
Oh, so that's an interesting take on it. Maybe we fabricate that it may have something stuffed in the doll, like you say, drug money, diamonds, drugs, gold doubloons, whatever it is.
A flash drive of some kind with some evidence on it, something small that could be in there. The bottom line is, there's the doll is evidence in and of itself, and it may help him convict the Mercers.
Okay, now I'm on board. I'm on board if
you got to remember all that, Adesso, and when you speak to him.
Sure.
And your lawyers speak,
Yeah.
Okay, so we're fabricating it to it's misdirection in a way. So yeah.
We'll all pile into the car and we'll call Lang from the car.
Okay. The phone rings once and is immediately picked up. And Inspector Lang says, "Agents, I was just about to call you. We are currently en route to get the Mercers. We found these fucks. We got CCTV that picked them up from a Sunoco and followed them southwest down Center Street. Looks like they made a right on Queen City Drive and followed it for about 3 miles when a camera in a Lowe's parking lot across the street picked up on them pulling in to a parking lot right across the way. I got an address here. It's 611 Queen City Drive. It's a Days Inn and Suite right next to the Rusty Taco."
I was wondering why that was familiar.
And I will see you guys next episode.
All right.
Perfect.
Is that too complex, Handler?
I think it'll stretch this out too far, actually. I think you'll add too much time doing that. You guys seem to cover the ground faster together than actually, obviously this isn't going to make it, but when you guys split up into 3 things and I try to give everybody FaceTime on that, it slows the thing down unless it's designed to be that way. Like we did in Under a Pale Moon, that was designed to break you guys up and do that shit. I think it would do that. It would have a problem here, actually. I think if you guys want to do 2 things, that's fine. I think 3 things it would burn up a whole episode, and we'd wind up with another one on the back end of this thing. Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeart Radio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget about our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. So if you're into watching and you want to help support this show, then head on over and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the show out. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted over there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next time, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.